Is your vibration really creating your reality? Here's a trauma-informed perspective. I'm Allison Batty-Capps of Blossoming Heart Wellness. Have you been told that your vibration is the reason why your dreams haven't manifested? Have you been told that your nervous system is the problem? Have you been told that your struggles are evidence that you're not enough aligned, or you're not conscious enough, you're not healed enough, or you're not high vibe enough? If so, I want to ask a different question. What if manifestation is more complex than many of us have been taught? I'd like to explore today the concept of manifestation, vibration, through the lens of spirituality, psychology, neuroscience, and even quantum physics. Not as someone claiming to have all the answers, but as someone asking questions that I think are worth considering. Because I think many people carry shame that doesn't belong to them. Recently, I came across another teaching suggesting that our baseline vibration is what causes our reality. And I found myself sitting with a question. If that is true in the literal sense, what does it mean for people who have done years of healing and are still struggling? People who are compassionate, conscious, self-aware, and emotionally regulated, yet they're still experiencing in their external life loss or illness or trauma or discrimination or financial hardship or heartbreak. Does that automatically mean that their vibration is somehow wrong? I don't know, but I think it is worth asking some questions. Before we go further, let's define some terms. When many people talk about vibration, they are often referring to emotional and physiological states, such as gratitude or compassion, joy, presence, connection, versus things like fear, shame, resentment, anger, despair. I actually think there is something valuable here because our inner states do matter. Our thoughts matter, our beliefs matter, our nervous system matters, our choices matter, our behavior matters. But I wonder if sometimes we take that insight further than it realistically should go. Psychology and neuroscience tell us that our internal states influence how we experience the external world. A regulated nervous system is able to see more possibilities in the external experiences versus a deregulated nervous system or someone who has experienced trauma is more predisposed to seeing threats in the external world. This is science. A person with secure attachment may navigate relationships differently than someone carrying significant relational trauma. This is psychology. Our beliefs do influence our perceptions, our emotions do influence our decision making. Our nervous system does influence our behavior. All of that is true. But psychology and neuroscience also tell us something else. We do not live in isolation. We exist inside families, communities, cultures, economics, political systems, relationships, historical realities. And all of those influence our lives and our bodies and the development of our brain and nervous system as well. So sometimes manifestation teachings seem to imply if your life isn't working, your vibration must be wrong. You must be the foundation of what is wrong. And this is where I begin to struggle and I begin to question the accuracy of these teachings because it can spiritualize a version of self-blame. It can blame the victim. If you're sick, maybe your vibration caused it. If you're poor, maybe your vibration caused it. If you're grieving, maybe your vibration caused it. If your dreams haven't arrived yet, maybe your vibration caused it. And while that may feel empowering at first, it can become exhausting, especially for people who have spent years healing, but the external world is still the external world. So I want to offer another possibility. What if reality is not something that we individually create solely based on our individual vibration? What if it is something we participate in because reality is a complex, interconnected field of awareness? What if manifestation is less about about control and more about relationship. Because every day we interact with other nervous systems, other belief systems, other people, other choices, other intentions, and we cannot control all of them. Even when we are deeply compassionate and people tell us, oh, your vibration is high vibe, that doesn't guarantee that a low vibe person or somebody who is experiencing trauma or a system that is traumatizing isn't going to be a part of your life. It means you have an opportunity to respond to those interactions from the place of your compassionate nature. So one of the things I think trauma healing has taught me is that many trauma survivors secretly believe if I can figure out what I did wrong, I can prevent pain from happening again. If I can heal myself enough, if I can become perfect enough, the world will never give me suffering. It is an extremely understandable adaptation because believing everything is our fault can sometimes feel safer than accepting that the world is full of uncertainty. Sometimes painful things happen because other people make choices. Sometimes systems fail people. Sometimes life is unpredictable. Sometimes suffering is not evidence of personal failure. Here's a question that I have been contemplating. What if a calm, grounded, compassionate person encounters someone who is operating from fear, control, and aggression? Did the calm person attract that? Or did two different nervous systems just happen to meet? And if the fearful person reacts negatively, is that proof that the calm person's vibration was somehow wrong or wanted a negative experience? Or could it be that the fearful person's system is responding from its own conditioning? Psychology and neuroscience would suggest that the latter is more accurate. What about quantum physics? This is where I want to be especially careful because I am not a physicist. I just am interested in it and I do a lot of reading on the topic. But I think many spiritual teachers make claims about quantum physics that can go far beyond what the science actually says. Quantum physics does suggest that a universe is deeply interconnected and more mysterious than we once believed. It invites us to think differently about reality. But I don't think it gives us evidence that every event in our lives is being generated by our emotional state, at least not in the way that science has demonstrated. So for me, quantum physics actually raises more fascinating questions rather than answering them. It doesn't give me certainty, it gives me more uncertainty. So instead of asking what vibration is creating my reality, what if we asked, what vibration am I cultivating within myself? Because those are very different questions. One is about control. The other is about consciousness and choice. One asks, how do I make life obey me? The other asks, who do I want to become regardless of what life brings me? Perhaps manifestation isn't my vibration creates everything in my world. Perhaps it's something more like my inner state influences how I perceive, respond to, and participate in reality. My healing influences my choices influence my relationships influence my opportunities, my actions influence my outcomes. And all of that occurs inside a larger web of reality that includes other people and forces beyond my control who are doing the exact same thing I am doing from their own level of integration. So perhaps the question isn't, why haven't I manifested my dreams? Perhaps the question is, how am I relating to myself while I am pursuing my dreams? Can I pursue my dreams without shaming myself? Can I cultivate compassion without pretending I control everything? Can I honor my nervous system rather than fighting against it? Can I remain open to possibility without blaming myself for every challenge? I don't pretend to know how manifestation works. I don't pretend to know exactly how vibration works. I don't exactly understand how consciousness interacts with reality or what consciousness or reality actually is. But I do know this. I no longer believe that every difficulty is evidence that somehow my vibration is wrong. And I don't believe healing requires me or anyone else to carry that burden. As I contemplate my own beliefs and the beliefs I see in the world, the question I keep coming back to is, how do I remain compassionate, conscious, and connected while living inside a complex reality where suffering exists without engaging in beliefs and actions that may cause suffering, intentionally or unintentionally? And how do I repair when someone says, I feel harmed by your beliefs or actions? If this conversation resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What have you been taught about manifestation and vibration? And has that teaching increased compassion for yourself and for others? Or has it increased self-blame and judgment? Just curious. I'm sending you deep love and appreciation on your journey. And if you'd like to go deeper, I do invite you to read my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World, or visit my website, blossomingheartwellness.com, to learn more about online courses or how to work with me, or follow to watch more videos that bridge spirituality, psychology, and neuroscience.